Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third game between Splaybuzzer and Gummibär Grün in the Farmers League group stage. The players, we just had them in voice chat and they thought, oh, okay, it's a best of three, we're done for today. But no, they're not done because it is actually a play all four, a format that has never been seen before in the entire world. A new invention by our dear Fredinovic. Now we are playing on Land Madness, and I hope it's the correct version. At least they have a 3 villages start. And Land Madness is a map where you have these wood lines with this rocky terrain around them, so you cannot build on the rocky terrain, so it's very hard to wall. So basically, usually in a normal Arabia game, for instance, you would start to build some walls over here to this wood line and then to the edge of the map. However, in this map, you can't do that. In this particular version, this rocky terrain also is all around the edge of the map, so you cannot even wall directly to the edge of the map. So it's a very open game, very offensive map, and so typically we see a lot of scout play and just a lot of aggression here. I think Splaybuzzer could even he could even think about some kind of very small walls around his town center, but walling is just de-incentivized on Land Madness. I'm not sure if either of these players have played this before. Probably Splaybuzzer has played it before, but I don't think that Gummibär has very much experience on it. So let's see how he fares. In terms of civilizations, Gummibär going for the Franks, which I think is a good option here. You get the bonus for the forager bush, and you have these extra berry bushes here, so that's actually pretty good to have the Franks here, and then also they have strong cavalry units. So I think the Franks a very good choice. Splaybuzzer, on the other hand, going for the Cumans, and the Cumans is an interesting choice because their main economy bonus is the ability to build a second town center in feudal age. And so the question is, how will he use that? Because the problem is you cannot build it next to any of these wood lines, basically, which is something you might want to do. So if he wants to build a second town center, he has to build maybe berry bushes, which is not great, or gold. So that will be interesting. Splaybuzzer probably trying to do some laming here. And Gummibär bringing in his boar and almost losing a villager, but not quite losing the villager, so nicely done here. Gummibär now also building another house, so he doesn't get housed. And some damage here on the scout of Splaybuzzer, which is nice, because in a direct scout fight, now Gummibär would win. Now, in terms of units, Cumans are pretty good actually with scouts and light cavalry, because they get extra speed, and so they're able to outrun the opponent. Now we can have a quick look at the exact bonus, and it is actually cavalry 5% faster each age starting in feudal age. So it's not in dark age, so right now both of the scouts are the same speed, but then in feudal age he can basically chase down enemy scouts and kill them. So that's actually a nice bonus, but otherwise I think the Franks definitely the better civilization here on Land Madness. Unless Splaybuzzer wants to go for some kind of crazy push. Splaybuzzer now going for the second mill, so first mill already on the berry bushes, second mill here on the berry bushes, only 3 on wood, so very tight build order it seems. So I'm just worried that it won't be enough to then in the end build a barracks and a stable. So this is something that he might not be able to do with 3 on wood, but we will have to see. Let's look at his build. We'll see how his build will look at in the end, or look like in the end. Luckily for Splaybuzzer, he actually finds some pigs here that I think belong to Gummibär. So he will have some extra food. Gummibär only 1 mill so far, 4 on wood, and he's pushing in the deer. This is very nice. So we see that all the players they tend to evolve, they tend to incorporate new strategies and new skills. Gummibär now incorporating this ability to push in deer. I mean, it's not perfect, it's not Viper-esque, although it's pretty good. Like pushing it directly here to these workers. Very nicely done, and he will even push in the final deer, so very nicely done. And I don't think that Splaybuzzer is doing the same. And also Splaybuzzer, I don't know, he probably doesn't realize that there's a berry bush here that he can take. I don't know if this is part of the map actually, or if this is just some kind of weird version of the map. But he has the berry bush, and he should really take advantage of it. And now we have this problem coming up that he might not have enough wood, especially with all of these outposts. I don't actually like this too much because he won't have enough wood to do anything. Because he also needs a house, he needs barracks, he needs stable, and if Gummy Bear, if he is on the way to the next age, let's see. He is, if he's able to plop down barracks and then a stable. This will just be very good for him because he will be able to outnumber his opponent by far. So yeah, I think this is pretty curious here for Splay Buzzer. Although now he does have enough for barracks, but still, as I said, not enough for barracks and the stable, and he hasn't even started building the barracks yet. Now here he does, but still he will need to wait for some time until the barracks are done and until he has enough wood for the stable. Also, he needs another house soon. So yeah, I think overall the build is not perfectly smooth here for Splay Buzzer, but Splay Buzzer is still very much in the score lead, but I think this is mainly due to scouting. If you look at the Fog of War, he has scouted a lot, whereas Gummy Bear has spent a lot of time pushing in some of the deer on his side of the map. Some damage now being dealt to the scout of Gummy Bear, who is now also in the Feudal Age, and in Feudal Age the scouts get a speed bonus and also an attack bonus, so they are stronger then. And here I like this much better for Gummy Bear. He's later to the Feudal Age, but he's earlier to the stable because his build order is just a little bit smoother, and Splay Buzzer now catching up with the stable, but still Gummy Bear overall just a little bit quicker to this stable. And I think now we will have a lot of scouts, and I think what you also need is a lot of spearmen. Gummy Bear, however, unfortunately has nothing in the queue. Does he want to go for FC? But he doesn't have any gold. I think he needs to get the timings right with his queuing. I think this is maybe his biggest mistake here. And on the other side, Splay Buzzer not having any scouts in the queue. That is also peculiar, but at least he has some spearmen in the queue, but he needs more spearmen for sure, because now there's already 2 scouts here. Luckily, Splay Buzzer's scout is faster, so he can always escape the enemy scouts. And the first spearman is patrolling to the front of the base. So in the end, I think it's good for Splay Buzzer that he does have the outpost that gives him a lot of early warning time, but still the scouts of Gummy Bear could come around from the other side and still deal a lot of damage. Now the berries are also running out, and so far only 1 farm for Splay Buzzer, and I think he really needs to work on his food economy here. Now 3 scouts out on the field for Gummy Bear, but also 3 scouts out and 2 spearmen out for Splay Buzzer, so I don't think that Gummy Bear will necessarily find too much damage here. No, he might still find some damage. Oh, this is bad for Splay Buzzer. This is actually pretty bad, and he will lose a villager. No, he will not lose a villager. Wow, great save here by Splay Buzzer. Nicely done. He has the spearman, and I think he can just send his own scouts forward to counterattack, and there is 0 spearmen here for Gummy Bear. And that's something he really needs to work on, and he can try to pick off the reinforcing scouts here from Gummy Bear, and this villager can actually be picked off by Gummy Bear. Very nice find here, and this villager for sure has to go down. There's no way that Splay Buzzer can save it. Villager down, and on the other hand, on the other side, no villager down so far for Gummy Bear. So nice early aggression again from Gummy Bear, and the scouts might even break in here, and yes, I think they will do that. Yes, not quite. Or maybe it's open, but now this... Oh yeah, it is open, but the spearmen are here, and the spearmen will be able to kill 1 scout already, put a lot of damage on the other scout. But still, a lot of idle time here caused by Gummy Bear doing nice and early aggression. Still, he is behind in villagers because he's just not queuing enough. But also Splay Buzzer now not queuing any villagers. I think both players really stressed out. Not queuing villagers is Gummy Bear again, so this is his biggest downfall. That's why he's always behind. He's killing villagers, but it doesn't matter if you don't create villagers at the same time. You do not gain a decisive advantage here. Now more spearmen in place here. Killing another scout. They will kill another scout. And another one, 3 scouts down. What a horrible engagement there by Gummy Bear. And now Splay Buzzer has 4 scouts in the front, and Gummy Bear only has 2 scouts here. And I think he probably needs to use them maybe to defend, although there's not much damage to be found actually, because it's a very nice and square layout here for Gummy Bear Green. But I think he needs to soon go to gold, because in the end you want to transition to Castle Age. Now the early stages of Feudal Age are basically over. You have, well, in the case of Splay Buzzer you have more than 30 villagers. In the case of Gummy Bear he has less than 30 villagers, unfortunately. But you want to think about transitioning now to the next age at some point, although sometimes you can catch your opponent off guard if you go for a Feudal Age all-in, maybe add a second stable and then just overwhelm your opponent with scouts. However, it is risky if your opponent then just goes to Castle Age. It's just very, very tricky to counter that. And now Splay Buzzer finding some nice kills here on the scouts, but let's look at the upgrades. +1/+1 for the green scouts here, whereas only +1 defense for the blue scouts. However, the blue scouts are more numerous and they're also faster, so they could chase this down, but Splay Buzzer decides to not do that. And now a nice defensive setup here for Gummy Bear Grün, who has some spearmen here, now on the gold, nice and cozy. Base, I think there's still some damage that could be dealt here, but I think that Gummy Bear realizes this. I'm not sure if he realizes this. On the other side, Splay Buzzer now going for the second town center in Feudal Age, which the Cumans can do. He feels like he has secured the map, he has done a little bit of damage, has dealt with the army of Gummy Bear, and now has this town center on gold, which is super nice because basically this gold is entirely safe. And he's now heavily on this gold, and that is something you can do. If you have the market, you can just buy yourself up to the next age. However, he's now going for an archery range for more houses, and more scouts are coming in, and I think they might find another villager or two if Splay Buzzer doesn't pay attention. Villagers are fighting, one villager going down, and the second villager might go down. Yes, second villager will go down, and maybe even a third one if Splay Buzzer doesn't notice it. Of course, the villager do not auto attack. Now finally he realizes, and he will push these scouts away. 2 villagers down again. So nice damage here for Gummy Bear, but this was maybe a little bit too ambitious. And at the same time, the scouts from Splay Buzzer are idle. He should be a little bit more active in going forward here. In terms of villager numbers now, of course, Splay Buzzer well ahead, 41 villagers to 35 from Gummy Bear. But Gummy Bear, if he drops down the market, that's something we discussed in the voice chat before the game, that he should really focus on market abuse a little bit more, because he's floating a lot of gold. So if he drops down the market, buys some food, he can be up to the Castle Age very quickly. And if he knows that Splay Buzzer does have the second town center, then now is really the time to go up to the Castle Age, so you don't fall too far behind here in terms of economy. But if you're staying in Feudal Age, of course, you are falling further and further behind. Now the scouts from Splay Buzzer coming in. He's seeing that there's a spearman there, is deterred by the spearman, but he just knows he can just run around and find some more damage here. And oh, he's actually attacking the spearman now. Okay, that was a weird micro move. Just move to the wood line, or move somewhere else and try to find something here. And I think the wood line is the prime area to stop. But nice quick walls here by Gummy Bear, very nicely done. This is what I want to see from him. Great reaction time. We really have to give him credit here for this nice reaction time. However, he really needs to think about Castle Age, and he also needs to scout his opponent, maybe just send a spearman forward. That's what the pros typically do. They just send one spearman forward somewhere, because then you could see that Splay Buzzer scarily is increasing in villager numbers. Now also going for the market to balance the economy, going for another archery range, and I think we might even see Cav archers in Castle Age. But Gummy Bear is on the way. It's unfortunately queued behind Wheelbarrow, but it's not so bad. It's actually fine. However, I'm not sure that Gummy Bear is prepared for the archers, who already have fletching that will just kill the spearmen so easily. And now there's no protection here from the archers and scouts, and this could be disastrous. Now a tower coming in, but this is too late. The tower will not complete, and I think he just needs to go away from the gold. There's no way he can save this. All these villagers are super weak, And it's another villager will go down probably, yes, and maybe another one, yes, another one being picked off, and so much idle time being caused, and Gummibär can do nothing about this, but he is on the way to the castle age, and he should just plonk down a stable maybe and go for some knights in the castle age, and then he can regain control over the gold, which he does not need at the moment because he has 700 gold in the bank. So it does not really matter that you cannot access this gold in this very moment because you have enough. I think he's overcommitting here. Instead of making really trying to get control back of this gold right now, he could just wait for castle age, get some knights, and then get control back, because like this he just loses so many villagers. Another one goes down, and now we have 32 to 56 villagers, and this game is over, or should be over. However, if we think about the last few games, it probably is far from over, because there are so many ways that these players find to throw games like this. But nice cleanup here by Gummibär. Manages to clear up the archers, but the economy is in shambles. But also Splaybuzzer losing only one scout. Ugh, the attack rate of the spearmen is just painfully slow. This is something, if I would balance the game, I think I would either change the animation to match the actual attack, or make it a little bit quicker, because the attack animation is super quick, but then the damage does not come in for the spearmen. But now Gummibär is in castle age, but he is very far behind in economy, and Splaybuzz is also on the way to the castle age, has a lot of units in the queue, which is very nice. He's getting the upgrades. Also, he's while he's going up to castle age, since he has a second town center, he can still produce from it, so he will not fall behind in terms of villages. He will have a steady stream of them coming in, and Gummibär now needs to make something happen. He is in castle age earlier than his opponent, and he can use the knights that he's producing now, who already have decent upgrades, have the plus 20% HP, to cause some havoc on the economy of Splaybuzzer. And we have seen what a single knight can do in the set between Vassal and Herr Acker, where a single knight of Vassal killed more than 15 villagers of Herr Acker and basically turned the game around almost. But Splaybuzzer now also in the castle age. He's now going for crossbowman. And yeah, that will be very tough to deal with for Gummibär, who needs to expand his economy. Now going for the market finally to balance his economy. He has gone back to gold, but still he has a lot of gold in the bank. That's what I meant. Even without going back to gold, he would have had enough for a few knights to clean this up. But yeah, in the end, it's fine. He regained control here, but he needs to make sure that he does something either with the earlier castle age, or that he manages to boom up, because now Splaybuzzer also going up to a 30C, and this is a different Splaybuzzer than we have seen in the other two games. This Splaybuzzer here does not fuck around. He is gaining a big advantage and just expanding on it. Now also has a lot of units, crossbowmen, and I don't think the knights will find too much damage. Yes, they might kill a few villagers, but that's just not enough. He needs to kill maybe like 15 villagers to be able to come back into this game. Although he's doing a great job, also harassing the woodline, or trying to harass the woodline here. I think there's even still the hole from early in the game still happening over here. Now forward siege workshop here, that's a little bit ambitious. I think those villagers will just die instantly. So nice find there from Gummibär, and Gummibär also killing some spearmen here. Very nicely done, and these knights doing wonders here for Gummibär. Very nicely done. More villagers being killed. But still, it's 66 to 38 villagers. Splaybuzzer absolutely can't afford to lose villagers left and right here. I think he just needs to go forward with the crossbowman. I don't know why he's staying at home. Just use some monks or spearmen to defend from these knights, or just garrison your villagers, if I'm being honest. But he's not doing that, and that's interesting. That gives Gummibär a good way of coming back into this game, actually. And these crossbowmen, very passive. I think if Gummibear Green had put down a siege workshop, those crossbowmen could have been dealt with easily. However, now they're a big risk, and I think there's a lot of villages that could go down here. Although first we have some knights, and I think the crossbowmen are lacking Bodkin arrow, and the knights already have +2 attack, +2 defense. So actually the knights might be enough to clear this. Oh, this is nicely done for Gummibear. What a great hold here. He's losing maybe one knight that he could have pulled back, but he's cleaning up all the crossbowmen. But still, Splaybuzzard has such a strong economy. We need a lot more villagers being killed here by these knights. But I think that Splaybuzzard now realizing that he has to defend from this. Now popping down the university, but he does not have. Now finally he has Bodkin arrow. But I'm not even sure why he's going for crossbowmen. I mean, here humans, is that something you want to go for? I am not so sure. I think step lances would have been a good idea here. Monks for defense, and then step lances to roam around, pick off villages. Step lances very speedy with the humans as well. Very strong unit, and another villager can be picked off here by Gummibear. Very nicely done. So good job by Gummibear, having more kills than deaths here, but the economy is just so strong. Now finally a first step lancer coming in, also the crossbowman being able to shoot down the knights. I think Gummibear should think about retreating, although no, he can just stick around because he has full upgrades basically. Oh yeah, and of course the humans also have camels, but they don't have heavy camel. So camels in Castle Age, of course, also a good choice if you want to counter the knights. But I think just lancers are pretty good overall. I think they're a little bit underutilized, but I think if you have just 4 lancers and then just roam around the backside of your economy, of your enemy's economy, there's just so much you can do. But Splaybuzzard, again, not a great plan here. He has built this forward siege workshop, but has not produced anything from it because he really can't. And now he has this weird mixture of a little bit of everything: the crossbowmen, and step lances now, camels, but he needs all the upgrades for those as well. So it's kind of investing maybe in too many things at the same time. But what he does have is 4 town centers, so fully booming ahead here. 79 villages to 47, so I think he's still very much in the driver's seat. And also, unlike the previous game, he's now going for multiple production buildings, going for another stable forward, having multiple archery ranges. Now unfortunately he's being housed heavily, but still now even going for a castle. I like this castle. Maybe on the hill would have been good, but I think this is also very nice. Basically protecting this area and projecting a lot of power forward. And then you can also go for Keshiks, which is a very good raiding unit because of the high pierce armor. Now also going for ballistics, which makes these crossbowmen and castles much stronger. And I don't think that Gummibear can engage here. I think Gummibear needs to resort to harassment, split off a few knights, come back here, maybe try to get some damage again here or here on the farms. But I don't think now that Gummibear can fight underneath the castle against the might of the humans. However, now Splaybuzzard idling the town centers. I think he wants to go up to the Imperial Age. I think he's idling a little bit too much usually. I think he should instead produce a little bit more villagers, but overall I can't criticize this too much because he clearly has the plan. He will go, or maybe he won't go up to the next stage. I think he's now maybe overproducing on camels. Which again, he doesn't get the heavy camel upgrade, so it's kind of not the ideal unit you want to go into. I think monks might have been better, or just knights of his own, or step lancers. But yeah, overall, still he can push because he has a very nice combination of the crossbowmen plus knights, camels, and everything. However, this is scary now, I think, for Splaybuzzard. I think Gummibear could clean this with a good engagement. It's hard to tell because the knights are not really engaging that nicely, and it looks like it is good enough here for Splaybuzzard, although it's pretty close. But the fact that there's still a camel left here is actually very good. And nice attack here by Splaybuzzard, killing his own crossbowman. And now also killing the villages of Gummibear. And now we have a very nice stranglehold here in the front of Gummibear's base. And Gummibear says, GG, well played. he gives this up very quickly because he realizes that it's actually a play all four, so he doesn't care too much about this game. Very nicely played this time from Splaybuster, having a clear game plan, getting kind of the early map control, confining Gummibear to his base, having a nice archer attack, and then booming with 2 town centers into nice castle age aggression. So very cleanly built. I think Gummibear just not very familiar with the map, and that is just maybe his downfall. I think he should have just picked a different map. Pick Arena or something that okay, you might not like it, but at least you know the map, and that's way more valuable than playing a map that you have not played at all. So well played, and this was the 3rd game, so 1 more game to go in this series.